Chris Waddell is a 13-time Paralympic medalist and first paraplegic to reach the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro, and he's changing the way people see disabilities. He spoke recently at West Springfield High School and has a message that applies to everyone. Carolee McGrath was there and has this story.
But it's a whole lot harder when things go wrong.
Chris Waddell speaks to juniors and seniors at West Springfield High School. He's using a program he created called Name Tags to break down the barriers and to change the labels and limitations students and adults put on themselves and others. He never set out to be a motivational speaker, and yet now that's his life's mission. Chris was a ski racer at Middlebury College in Vermont, but in 1988, when he was on a run with his brother at Berkshire East, his ski popped off.
I fell in the middle of the trail, didn't hit anything but the ground, and broke 2 vertebrae.
The fall left him paralyzed from the waist down.
Paralyzing myself was the closest to death that I could imagine.
But Chris told the teenagers with the help of his family, he was able to move forward from that initial shock and devastation quickly. Within 2 months, he was back at college, and within a year, he was back on the slopes.
Started skiing again in a monoski 362 days afterwards. Went through the whole progression, learned how to monoski really with my father, who was an instructor at Mount Tom and then at Berkshire East. And then I went back to school and stayed part of the ski team at Middlebury.
Chris is the most decorated male Paralympic monoskier, winning 12 medals. He is also a track athlete and has won world championships in both winter and summer games. He has been sharing his story with audiences across the country. He founded One Revolution, a nonprofit with a mission of changing the way people with disabilities are seen by society.
All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. So the resilience part of it is this idea of, yeah, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you, but it's also about finding your unique voice. It's so easy for us to follow the crowd.
Connor McCormick, a senior at West Springfield High School, helped bring Chris in as a speaker for his peers. Connor is heading to Boston College in the fall. He was left paralyzed after an accident in a pool in the summer of 2016.
It was eye-opening because it was different than what a lot of other people have said following my injury. A lot of people, when they talk to me about my injury, if they're injured, they'll be like, it's okay, you can get through it. Or sometimes people just kind of want to pass you by and give you things. But Chris really opened my eyes to the idea that it's not about what happened to you, it's what you do with what happens to you.
Chris's inspiring message really applies to anybody, and he encourages students to look beyond their circumstances and to look beyond their struggles. And he says that sometimes our greatest challenges can be opportunities.
We as Americans love the underdog, right? And we celebrate that experience. And there's a reason why we do that, because there's so many underdogs that represent exactly who we think we are. We're all underdogs in our own minds, right? And so I think that part of it is being open to that sense of inspiration. Like, inspiration surrounds us. There are people who are passionate about what they do, and it's in all walks of life. And so one is having your eyes open, but 2 is really finding something that matters to you.
Mike Richard is the superintendent of West Springfield's public schools.
The message is one that applies to everybody. Everyone needs to know that that bad things can happen, and how you use that opportunity to better yourself or your community is really important.
In 2009, Chris Waddell became the first paraplegic to reach the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro, the tallest mountain in Africa. His climb was about changing the perception of people with disabilities, and he encourages everyone he meets to set their sights high.
They really need to know what matters to them, because it's really easy to sort of be a victim of circumstance in so many ways. Oh, I don't have a great job, I don't have a great life. And it's like we're a product of the decisions and the choices that we make every day. That I'm not a victim, that I'm a survivor.